It was another wild week on the 2016 campaign trail, a shakeup of campaign leadership for Donald Trump, and word that Hillary Clinton's charitable foundation is about to undergo some major changes. Here to flesh it all out with us is Face the Nation host John Dickerson. John, good morning. What's coming up on your show today?
Hello. Hi, Nikki. Yes, it was a back and forth week, a lot of twists and turns with the Trump campaign, and so we're going to look at that. He's got his third campaign chief, and we'll talk about that with Alabama Republican Senator Jeff Sessions. He's a big Trump supporter. Also, a speech that Donald Trump is giving next week on the immigration topic. What's going to change there? We'll also talk to the head of the Republican National Committee, Reince Priebus, about the Republican Party and some heartburn that's going on there as they look at these poll numbers. We're going to have new poll numbers from battleground states that show Hillary Clinton doing well. Where are her vulnerabilities, and where can Donald Trump come back if he can come back? We'll talk to Robbie Mook. He's the campaign manager of the Clinton campaign, about the Clinton Foundation, the emails released from there, new disclosures about Hillary Clinton's email server, and all of those issues with him. We'll also have some footage from a focus group that Frank Luntz, who's a CBS News contributor, did with Republicans who were Trump supporters, who are now moving off of Donald Trump. What caused them to change their minds? What could get them to change their minds back? And then finally, we'll talk to Michael Kranish and Mark Fisher, who are the authors of a new book, a deep look into Donald Trump's life and what he's all about. We'll talk to them about Donald Trump. And then finally, our news roundtable, we're going to put the week's news into some kind of perspective, all these fast-moving developments, which ones are important and which ones can we ignore.
John, you touched on this a bit, but Donald Trump brought on new leadership this week. Then on Friday, Paul Manafort resigned as the campaign manager. What does this mean for the campaign as we get really close to November?
Well, it means that they are in a huge state of flux with the calendar moving quickly towards voting. There will be voting that will start early voting in some states as late as or in late September. And so the process is underway, and this is late to be switching the captain at the top of the ship. And also it's the third person to be helming the Trump effort. So there's a lot of kind of uncertainty surrounding the campaign, and can they get it all back together and get their act together? That's what we'll be talking about with our guests today.
And John, we've already kind of seen a new, more refined Donald Trump. Do you think we'll start to see even more of that as we get into the final stretch of this campaign?
We are seeing some changes in Trump's rhetoric. Absolutely, a couple of speeches. The trick for him, or the challenge, is to be able to sustain that new approach from now until the voting stops in November, and then also hope that the people who have made conclusions like the ones who talk in our focus group that we'll have today, those who have left him, said he is too intemperate for the office, will take a second look, and when they do, that this new tone that he's offered is appealing. But as he has pointed out, and as others have, there's a difference between the rhetoric a candidate offers and who that candidate actually is. His job is to try and convince people they're now one and the same.
Sounds like a jam-packed show, John. Can't wait to tune in. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Nikki.
The Late Show with Stephen Colbert got a lot of attention following the Republican and Democratic convention, but the show also got quite a bit of buzz from the start because of Colbert's choice of band leader. Sunday morning's Michelle Miller caught up with the very musical Jon Batiste.